Do you want me to load a bot?
No, no, I'm just gonna like run around Crim and stuff. Not really gonna be doing anything.
Okay, cool.
You should run around like Hib SI or something.
Yeah, I may run around TOA actually, because I was running around TOA doing a quest earlier today.
Do you want me to load a bot?
No, no, I'm just
hold
gonna
on.
like run around Crim to mute my
Make sure you
stream.
mention the merchants go away tomorrow. Just FYI.
Oh yeah, we'll be going over a few things, I think.
We'll just probably run through the newsletters. A lot of content there, especially with the 5v5 tournament coming up. See if we can get some feedback on
Oh
that.
yeah, we should talk about that last. Save the best for last.
Probably.
So where did you go? What zone?
Just running around, I guess, TOA. It's not gonna be anything serious. You don't have to join me if you don't want to. Probably go to,
You said TOA?
yeah, probably go Stygia or something.
Alright,
Anyway, I have the stream
I'm
up,
heading
so
that way.
I'm just gonna let some people join us before we get into it, I guess.
Should go to the pyramid. I love that pyramid.
Huh.
Make sure my okay, good, it's working. A little chat thing's working, I think. Good. Yeah, I was running around Green Glades and Arbor Glen earlier doing a quest for my Ranger template, and saw a lot of cool stuff I hadn't seen in forever, so.
What was in your ranger template?
Ring of the Seven Souls.
You still use that?
Yeah, it happened to fit pretty nicely. Just kind of need the stats and the stealth off of it, so. Made a template with
One of the rings I find myself using quite a bit is the Ring of Silent Oblivion on some of my tanks.
Yeah.
From Emmet, the ML5 boss.
Right. Yeah, there's still some decent
you wouldn't
rings.
think so, but there's... Yeah, there's, like, even to this day, they still have really good utility.
And sometimes they just kind of fit. Even if they're low utility, they just have the right combination of stats and resist and whatnot.
Yeah. What are you on your ranger right now?
I'm on my bard, just
bard.
running around, yeah. Is that a donkey? Is my name.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I'm
I
on my
see you
bard
right
right now
now.
too. That's the character I just chill out on whenever
Yeah.
I'm on Gaheras.
It's easy.
I'm
You
just
run
trying to
around.
remember what zone you're...
Speed 6. I'm just running around Land of Autumn right now.
Yeah.
So you have 3 viewers.
Did you see that in region?
It's probably just the three of us right
Yeah,
now.
probably. Yeah, having the VOD of this is nice and all, but it's nicer when people are there to interact and ask questions, make comments on everything we say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just you, me, and Carol right now.
Yeah.
on the as the viewers. I just jumped up to 6.
Be really cool to see like a two-way revamp, just from a PvE side, just new encounters or making the encounters a little different, new drops and stuff. Because it's really such a cool zone. There's so much cool like architecture and just the layout of the zone's great.
Yeah, 2OA revamp would be really neato. I think if they do that, they should add some Gaheras only stuff that kind of brings back the 2A parts that maybe some of the UAN players didn't really like.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'm sure like once they release all this currency stuff, kind of make Gaheras not as enjoyable, maybe.
I think if they keep doing the loot system like they did with Darkness Falls, they probably don't even need to do anything Gahara specific. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, I like the DF patch. It'd be nice if you could trade the stuff, the seals, just for ease.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird that you can trade everything you buy with the seals,
Right.
but you just can't trade the seals themselves.
Yeah. Hopefully, eventually, they could change that. Because I know I have like 4, 5, 6 seals on one character, like spread amongst 5, 6 characters. I have just 5 or 6 on them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really kind of limits people's setups because, like, for example, if I'm on Geharis, I say, hey, I need heretics, and, one of my guildmates is like, yeah, but all my blood seals is on my spirit master, like...
Right, right. It's definitely an issue.
Which zone did you go to?
I am in Land of Autumn.
That one area where I think you have to do a certain encounter to get to it, but it's kind of like this little valley in the desert where there's all these mobs. I don't remember which ML step it was, but I remember that place being pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember
I don't
that.
think you can get to it,
can't remember
though.
anything about it though, like how to get there or anything. It's been so long since I did any TOA at all.
Yeah, all I really remember of that place was watching a Mordred video where some gank group was just taking out a raid.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
This dungeon is probably one of the more fun I had in PvE before I actually liked doing PvE.
Yeah. I remember.
There's something about it.
Yeah. I remember doing ML3 raids like 8, 7, something like that years ago. Just taking literally like 8 to 10 hours just being in that.
Oh
ML3
god,
dungeon.
especially
Yep.
7.
Yeah. It was wild.
And what was the name of the mob? The woman mob. That was bugged, and she would become invincible.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
How many viewers do we have? 11 so far.
I wonder who Garbrak is. I don't remember that.
Alright,
guy.
Garrett. Full Battle Bard mode. Do it up.
I actually fought a Battle Bard on my Reaver a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago. I had 3
Yeah, I
fights
think I
of
heard
them.
about that.
Yeah, they were like 10-minute fights, and there was one fight.
Hey, Nerf.
Hey, thanks. What's going on, guys?
Much. I'm gonna turn you down real fast. You're pretty
Hello,
low
hello.
on my end. Alright. Yeah, I had like 3 10-minute fights with the Bard. Well, 2 10-minute fights, and one was a like 3-minute fight. I tried to Reaver bomb him. He was at 30% health, but it didn't kill him for some reason. And I just lost too much health, and then he just killed me from there. So I actually lost to the Bard. Such a cool looking dungeon, like from the outside though.
Oh yeah, even from the inside too, the river Styx and all that.
Right.
My favorite part is where you have to make yourself a mummy.
Yeah.
Haha, I remember that. That was fun.
Alright, I guess we can go ahead and start getting into it if you'd like.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Here. So I guess the first thing to look at is just the
And I can
newsletter.
finally fish.
Let me see. Set up my windows behind my DAoC screen a little better so I can see everything.
What we got today? Oh, we're up to 12. That's not too bad.
Ooh, this just in. We will be giving a time code away for this stream, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Oh wow.
Stick around. We'll do it probably in 20-30 minutes when we get some more viewers in. We'll do a random time.
So I'll have to log on and get a Twitch bot so I can try and get it myself.
There you go.
Wow. Obi,
So-
if you want, I got the newsletter up too. So.
Okay, yeah. Just got up in the background now. I guess the first.
Do you want me to talk about the topics or?
Yeah, I guess with free flow, kind of whatever you want to talk about, we can start talking about. I was just gonna say, obviously, the first thing on the newsletter is about the departure of the Infernal Merchants, the traveling merchants. I believe they're leaving tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time tomorrow, but go ahead and stock up on the items that you have yet to buy. I know I haven't bought much yet, so.
Yeah, the time for procrastination is no longer.
Exactly. I always procrastinate requests.
I am very poor now.
I'm about to be very poor. I think I'm just gonna spend all my money. And
Yeah, I think I may have like 3 plat to my name now on him.
what did you guys think about the pricing of most of the items on the Infernal Merchants? Were they pretty fair, you think, or were they a little off, or too low?
I think
thought the
they're
new
pretty good.
amulet was good, but some of the others I thought were a little high.
yeah, there were
Yeah,
some
especially
things
some of
that
the older
is a
ones.
bit excessive.
Mm-hmm. I noticed with some of the DF
Like
items.
Jump to the Harbinger. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say some of the DF items. I didn't really understand the pricing layout of it. Because like there were some items that I've never seen used in a template. They were like 75 to 100 plat, and there are items like the necklace that has the dex over cap that a lot of casters support use. It was only 50 plat, so it's kind of weird to see. I'd imagine the best way to price DF items would just be to assign plat value to seals, I guess, and then just however much the item costs in seals, multiply that by the plat multiplier.
Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of people probably just stocked up on the 25 plat ones and then probably spend their blood seals on the other stuff.
Right. And also, what do you think about the no DF weapons being on the merchant, only the jewels and whatnot? Was that an issue you thought? I kind of like that because it still forces people to go out there and, do the new content.
Yeah, I don't think there was a problem with that. I didn't, because you're still saving on your blood seals with all these other items available to you. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And the weapons, as far as they're not that expensive blood seal wise. 24 when a lot of the good items are 31 seals and whatnot.
Yeah.
Weapons aren't that expensive anyway, in terms of blood seals.
Exactly.
The Medal of Honor being 100 plat may have, I don't know, I thought that was pretty high considering
That was.
all you get compared to the other one is another use, which is, I see most people probably still using the ablative instead of the 10% melee vulnerability, but...
Oh, I don't know. I actually think I'd use the vulnerability a lot.
Oh, really?
Because now you can get 4 500 ablatives in your template, I believe.
Yeah, the thing about
So I
the
can see
Medal
a
of Honor...
lot of times where I would want to use it.
Yeah. The thing about the Medal of Honor ablative is it's you can use it and it will stack with a normal melee or magic ablative. So you can have 2 ablatives used at once. So if someone hits you for 100 damage, and you have a Cudgel the Undead ablative up, which is a 500 melee ablative, and also the Medal of Honor ablative, it takes like 50% of the damage off with the first ablative, and then 50% of whatever's left with the Medal of Honor ablative. So you end up getting hit for 25 instead of 100.
Yeah, no, I understand, but the ability to have a proc or a use like that gives you a big vulnerability on them is actually really, really huge.
Right.
Like when you're out soloing, being able to kill the person before you get zerged is more important than surviving.
Yeah, I agree, but isn't it only a 10% invulnerability? Whereas like Harbinger
Did he cut
Gems
out
at
to you?
50? I can hear him.
Sure, but you can't have everything up all the time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I guess that is true. So do you think the price for the Medal of Honor was, the normal Medal of Honor was I think 15 plat, whereas the new Medal of Honor was 100. Do you think that 85 plat difference was worth it for the extra proc, the extra build, and the ablative, and the 10 more AF?
I think because it's brand new, it was.
Yeah.
The next time they come around, I'd be surprised if it's not down to around 50 to 70.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah, it was high enough that I didn't bother with it especially on Gaheris, where most people just use the relic fragments for their necklace
Right.
slot.
Right. And that's what, 2,000, 3,000 ablative over there?
2,000 for the melee frags, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I imagine that's a little bit better than
Those are a little
500.
more OP.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I thought everything was priced pretty well. I've been farming Summoner's Hall with a buddy lately, and of course they kind of undercut us, but it wasn't that big of a deal. They were pretty fair to what they were priced at anyway on the market.
Yeah, I've never actually done a Summoner's Hall run.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
I've always thought that it seems like kind of fun.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of different type of encounters there. We only do a couple. A certain setup we have. Yeah, I've killed most of
That's
the
why I
stuff.
like my high realm rank guild. We just take in a couple Spirit Masters, Druid Bard, Paladin, and just kill everything with that setup.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that probably kill most things.
Yeah.
I know we've been doing Hib, Summer's Hall. We should take a couple Banshees and pulse down some stuff. Especially the, I can't remember his name, the cloak mob.
Oh yeah,
Also,
Summoner
Coach-
Lossrin.
Yeah, Losserin, that's it.
Oh, the summoner.
Okay.
I'm surprised that zone isn't used more often, to be honest with you. Because there's some really good encounters in there, and also, you have the PvP side of it too. But I guess it just takes too long for most people to get there.
Mhm. I guess the next thing.
Definitely.
Go ahead, continue.
I was just gonna say it's definitely worthwhile to go there because a lot of people will pay some good money for the items that you get from there.
Hmm. Definitely, and they're really not too hard to kill with a decent setup, a couple people.
Oh yeah.
But the next thing, I guess,
I
in the
have a hard
newsletter. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna move on to, I guess, 1.118.
1.18.
Ah yes.
Obviously the pet pathing and stuff like that is going to be in, but some of the classic dungeons are going to be at the lower levels, like Keltoy, Fogu, Curse Mines, Spragger Den, Window Caverns, places like that.
Hey, Obi.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we get into the patch, I just wanted to throw this little plug in. For everyone that has not been to Pendragon, just to let you know, what's recommended, because there are two different versions of the patch from live compared to testing. Normally what we recommend is use one for your live server, so when you connect into Yuan, Gaheris, etc. And then when you go to Pendragon, just copy that folder and call it something else. So that way when you get a patch, if there's some kind of weird bug and stuff, you're not also locked out of your game. If
Right.
that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, that definitely helps. Okay, but yeah, onto the patch. Obviously the classic dungeons are going to be revamped. It'll be interesting to see what all's involved with that. Look forward to seeing. Haven't been to any of those dungeons in years and years and years, but I might check them out.
I have fond memories of farming Mithra.
Yep. I remember my first.
And one thing they touched on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, good. Oh, it's fine.
I was just going to say one thing that they touched on was just very briefly about the They didn't really say anything about it in the newsletter, but they did have a screenshot of one of the new encounters that they added. Um, and these are actually really fun fights. You get a supremacy pot for the first time you finish the quest for that encounter. And the next fight, next time you do it, you get a realm point buff potion that lasts through death. But anyway, it's a really fun fight. It's probably on par with, killing a dragon or something, same level of difficulty.
That'd be fun.
So that's just the prelude. That's something that's already on live servers, but that's sort of the prelude to some of the content that they have in store in the next patch.
That's good. Yeah, I haven't really checked out a lot of the new PvE content lately. Mainly just focus on RVR, but I'll definitely have to check that out and all the new stuff they're putting out as well. And they're also going to make some more improvements to the casual group finder, because the current casual group finder / CGF, to pull it up, isn't it's not perfect yet, so still have a bit of work to do to make people use that and start having more casual groups.
Yeah,
hopefully they'll start the Stealth Zerg group finder soon.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that'll be part of it.
Yeah,
Who knows?
it's surprising that's not there, because that is a there are a lot of people that enjoy subgroups.
Hey, Obi, just let you know your streaming stopped.
I did.
Yep.
It's looking okay to me. Have you tried refreshing it, maybe?
Hold on, we'll try. Because Carol and I both can't see it.
Oh, really?
Just FYI.
Yeah, I can't see it either. It's just
okay.
saying loading video.
Huh. That's weird. Can you hear me at all?
Okay, it's good on my screen now.
Okay, okay.
I just refreshed the page though.
Okay.
Yeah, I just came back. I had to refresh as well,
Yeah,
so I'll
yeah.
let people know.
Yeah, I'm telling people no, or letting people know they need to refresh it. Let's see. Okay. Just moving on from that. Obviously the CGF. Do you guys have any feedback from the chat or from you guys about what would make CGF more usable?
Probably the most common thing I've heard was just saying that the CGF should be a pop-up as soon as you log in, and if people don't like seeing that, they have an option to never see it again. But if,
Right.
Make it at least something that pops up every time for people who would use it but don't think to use it because they never see it when they log in.
In addition to that, I'd also pop up like a little window that kind of explains how it works, especially the order, so people understand why they may or may not be selected as well, in addition to configurations on how to set all that up.
Question from Movart.
I wonder if
Chat. CGF is a casual group finder. You open it up by typing / CGF, and then this will pop up, and you can queue up to look for a group.
CCGF.
Yeah. If you guys from chat have any suggestions or anything about CGF, let us know. Let me see if I can fix my chat overlay thing real fast. Give me 1 second on the chat overlay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right. we'll let the chat tell us if they would like or have any suggestions or anything like that. Also, one of the big things on the newsletter is the Knight and internal forums application. We're currently looking for more Knights and internal forum members to help us out, give feedback and whatnot on events. So definitely, if you're interested in being a Knight or an internal member, check that out and send an application. The application is pretty straightforward, just a couple questions about you and what you think you could bring to the program and whatnot. If you're willing to stream, voice chat, things like that. Yeah, and Carol has linked it in the stream chat.
Oh, so one thing Movarts was saying is that, at least in, I think he means Midgard, that most healers will not use the CGF because they're usually in pre-made groups. So maybe one thing they could, Broadsword could consider would be to maybe create incentives for healer type classes to queue up for the casual group finder. Otherwise, groups simply won't be made because there aren't any healers to support the casual group finder functions.
Right. That's true. Is it? Do you think it's a lack of people wanting to play healers, or just that all the healers that do play are just already snatched up into groups?
It might just be a
I would say
combination
the
of
latter.
both of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know they, I guess, tried to incentivize healers and whatnot a while back by adding the heal RPs. I'm sure there's other things they could do to promote healers and whatnot.
Well, I think the problem with that is for example, a healer, a pack healer, is in really high demand, but they're not. I mean, obviously they're healing, but not nearly as much as for example, the AuG healer would be. So
Right.
that incentive isn't quite there as much.
Right. And I know you get realm points for Mez, but I don't think you get a bonus realm point for Mez over your group, do you? Once someone dies. It's not like you get a realm point per Mez, but once people die, if you're just a solo bard per se and you Mez someone,
Yeah.
you'll get X amount of realm points. It's not very much, but
We just to let you know, I think Daig's bringing up a really good point right now. At this part of the game, since it's, way over 10 years old, part of the flaw right now is the people that are playing those critical classes normally are well established in the game. And so they're doing pre-made groups so that when they log in, they're either texting their friend, calling their friends, and the group's filled. So then you have the new player trying to fill their role. And I think that's something that I don't think the casual group finder will be able to fix.
yeah, I mean, but that could be for any type of class, couldn't it? If I'm on a druid or even a champion, I could, I guess maybe less likely. I mean, you still have your friends and whatnot that you want to group with, so you're probably going to try to join them anyways, right? Yeah, as Dave says, there needs to be an incentive for someone wanting to form groups. I think right now, the big issue, at least from what I've seen, is a lack of leaders, lack of wanting to, put in the effort to form the group and to lead the group. It'd be great. I would love to see people forming groups be incentivized and have some sort of bonus for putting together the group, leading the group, and whatnot. And I think with pack healers, bards, things like that, they are kind of just automatically given the leadership role a lot, at least the driving role, from what I've seen. But I had some suggestions on incentivizing leadership. Maybe an RP bonus to whoever forms a group, and that person may not be the one to drive, but there could be a slash command to set the leader. Like say I'm on a champion and I invite 7 people, get them organized into certain classes and whatnot, invite them all, and then I could type slash leader bonus Obelisk, and then I would have the bonuses for being a leader, the whole group, and then I can make the bard driver, leader of the group, and then he'd be driving. But I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, that definitely one of the things that could be done. Definitely probably one of the better ideas.
Yeah, I don't know how hard that would be to implement, like a slash command like that, or if it's possible, but kind of similar to like VG Treasure or something like that, I'd imagine.
Right.
Maybe, but I mean, you'd have to track who created the group initially, and
Yeah, well that's like with the slash
seems
command.
hard.
The leader of the group could, when he creates the group, set himself, and then for the until that group
But what's to
dissipates.
stop the new leader from doing it?
Well, it's once that group, once it's set, or I guess you could just kind of do it on a trust system, to where if the new leader doesn't, I know that's saying a lot, but if the new leader doesn't, set you as the group leader, you won't invite them in the future. Because I know a lot of leaders, they're no leaders and they'll form up a lot of groups, and if they'll, I guess, not invite you in the future, is what I see it. They're kind of policing their own groups just by their power that they have. But yeah, there are definitely flaws with that. No, a knight does not get a paycheck from Broadsword. It'd be nice.
We get basically $15 a month. If you put in the amount of effort and work we put in occasionally, I guess we might make like 15 cents an hour.
It's not bad.
If that.
Could be worse.
But Movarts, I think the real incentive for being a knight is kind of a couple things. One, getting to see things before they go into game, getting to test things. But more importantly, I think it's just the ability to provide feedback, to champion some of the things that the player base is seeing, etc. And that, it's just a really awesome win when you can make a change. Like, for example, way back when you had the left axe nerf in 1.6.2, the Berserker was a very undesirable class at that time, and then Shadow Blades are even kind of worse compared to some of the other light tanks, and also especially with the Savage, because the Savage had some buggy DPS as well. And it was really cool for me to work with the development team to sit there and kind of get the Berserker into more of a positional fighter that they classified light tanks into 1.6.2. So it's those kind of things that I personally found was very rewarding.
Yeah, stuff like that's great. I love when you can provide feedback for a change to happen that's positive change in the game.
And Dag, I love you too, bro. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, and Infernals, or sorry, not Infernals, internal forum board members, they're, I guess, similar to Knights in a way that they can help provide feedback from the community to an official forum. They can provide their own personal feedback as well. It's a great avenue, similar to Knights, in providing feedback. I guess less is required of you as far as your time and responsibility and things like that. But both are good avenues if you'd like to help change the game and make it a better game.
Did we go over the, oh no, okay. I was just looking at the newsletter, seeing where we're at, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just kind of hitting some different points in the newsletter if I can. Yeah, Dick, that'd be a good thing. I think with the new Knight revamp, we're kind of more focusing on community interaction and doing community events for the game. I know when I'm playing, I like to keep an eye out on region sometimes. If there's questions and whatnot, I'll try to provide some feedback on it. Sometimes it's hard to if I'm just focused on playing, but I try to keep an eye and ear out. Feedbacks or questions. Let's see. Any of you guys at the moment have any questions for us? Any particular suggestions on any type of anything we've not even covered yet that you'd like to have us discuss? We can go ahead and discuss some of those.
Looks like Kuji wanted a shout out, so hey Kuji, how's it going, bro?
Good evening, Kuji.
Got you covered.
Well, anyway, I guess we can kind of talk a little bit about balance. If there's any like class balance, ability balance that you guys like to talk about at the moment, you have any issues with, we can go and discuss that for a little bit. It's always a good thing to discuss here and there. One thing I've kind of been thinking about is the roam ability Thornweed Field. And it's, you see it used situationally. It's a decent enough RA, but I think it's kind of, it could be made a lot better by a couple changes. One being maybe make it insta-cast instead of the 2-second cast time, similar to like an ST or something, but just ground target based. Because I know when I'm playing my Warden or my Reaver, I guess my Mauler, I don't really spec Twiff on my Mauler very often, but it can be a pain to have to sit there for a good 2 hard seconds and have it cast, and if you spam it, it doesn't really fire properly usually. And I think the RA would be a lot better if it could just be instantly put down.
Wow, Dig. So Dig wants us to shift topics.
Yeah, we were going to kind of save that for the end, but I guess we can go and get into it now if you want. There's going to be a 5v5 tournament put on by the Knights. We don't have a date scheduled yet or any official rules, regulations. We're still getting that all together, the people that are running it. But keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a free-for-all 5v5 tournament on Pendragon. I don't want to say any of anything that we're thinking about right now because it may not, be possible. But as far as like realm rank, what realm rank we're going to allow everyone to be, things like that. Any restrictions? Because right now we don't know what's possible and what's not. Just getting that all together. But if you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions for the 5v5 event, please let us know. What do you guys think about the 5v5 event? How do you think it should be run? What type of stuff do you think would be good for it?
How come you decided to go Pendragon?
Just since it's tournament based, we wanted it to be semi-fair, at least for ranks and things like that. On Pendragon, you can always set a rank cap. I think it's capped at rank 5 at the moment. Also, the free-for-all aspect, it's a lot easier, I'd imagine, and wouldn't mess up the game as much to make Pendragon or a zone in Pendragon free-for-all, as opposed to Ywain or Gaheris. Well, obviously Gaheris is currently free-for-all, but it'd be nice to see maybe a Gaheris BG. But right now, that's not it's not there. But yeah, the developers kind of decided we were looking at Gaheris and Pen, but I think Pen won out at the moment, just to for logistical purposes. You can obviously transfer all your characters to Pendragon pretty easily, whereas Gaheris, there's no character transfer function yet. 5v5 going to be similar to how Mordred / Gaheris groups were. Yes, it's going to be free for all, so you can have a bard, a sorcerer, a healer, a druid. You can have all of them mixed in. So it's whatever best setup you can make in the entire game, not just limited to realm.
Oh yeah, and Dag brings up an important point. There are some strong items that are Geharis only that can currently be transferred to Pendragon, but we've gone through the big ones, and they should be disabled for this tournament, so you don't have to worry about nerds like me coming on into this tournament with a 2k melee damage ablative.
Yeah, definitely. Nazo, as far as any restrictions and stuff like that, I'd like to um, not say what we're thinking right now, just because it may not be possible. Until I can talk with the devs in a little bit more detail, I'm gonna keep those, I guess, under the radar. But I'll tell you, I guess, what I like to see right now. But like I said, it's definitely not set in stone. But I'd like to see maybe a rank 11 cap, just because if you have everyone at rank 14, that's a little unrealistic to how the game actually is. There's no rank 14s on the way, I don't believe. And things may get a little silly. But rank 11's at least semi-realistic. You see a lot of all rank 11 groups. As far as templates, I think we're just going to have you transfer over whatever template you have from Ywain or Geharis, excluding the special Geharis items, because that would make things a little imbalanced. As far as supremacy pots go, we're still discussing that. Not sure if those will be allowed or not. We'll just have to see. Still talking with some people about that. And yes, all classes will be allowed. I know a lot of people are saying that maybe outlawing Thurgis would be a good idea, but the thing is, everyone has access to Thurgs, so it's kind of... And as good as Thurgs are, they're not... I mean, they are counterable. And if you especially have another Thurg, it's kind of... I think it's okay.
Yeah, and one of the things Boxy Brown pointed out, he was a long-time Mordred player, and one of the things he pointed out was a lot of the more dominant groups on Mordred usually didn't have Thurgis, usually because, well, he said because they just played what was fun, not necessarily what was optimal, but they never had a problem competing without a Thurgis.
Right, definitely. And I think with this, there are so many different setups that I mean, obviously the game's changed a lot since Mordred was really alive. So even those old Mordred setups may not be, the dominant ones back in the day may not be as good as they are now. But there's so many unknown variables in this because you don't see, the all realm groups anymore. There's a lot of unknowns. Who knows what's going to be the best? Who knows what's going to be bad? All you can do is play a lot of paper DAoC, and until the tournament happens, you're not really going to know the best setup's going to be. As far as Kuj asked what team I'm going to be on, I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing yet, since I'm one of the ones behind it. I may have to do a lot of work the day of, so I don't know if I'll have time to play. I'll just have to see. What are tactics to counter Thurgs? Well, you can Confuse now kills all Thurgs. Well, it kind of always has, but there's a lot more Confuse in the game. And you can always just, if you run a BD, put a BD pet on the Thurg, and it'll severely limit its pet output, and it makes clearing, quick cast and conk quick cast Thurg pets pretty easy. Locking down a Thurg in a 5v5 scenario shouldn't be extremely hard. There's only 5 players you have to worry about. Granted, you only have 5 players, but it makes controlling one class a lot easier. I don't think a Thurg will get open, and just free cast pets all day, unless the group just kind of dominates the other group. Carol asked, what time are you guys planning on doing this? As Kuji says, Saturday afternoon is what we're looking at, just because that'll allow all, at least not all, allow the European players and the US players to have a good chance at making it. It's a weekend, so a lot of people don't work during the weekend. It'll be in the Euro evening, US afternoon. Yeah, we just like to get as many people as we can able to play. Nazo, you asked, do we have any idea how the tournament's going to function as far as one loss and you're out? Will each team fight each other once? We'll probably, once we create a registration platform, way to register, which we haven't fully figured out yet. We're still debating a couple ideas, but we'll probably just randomize all the fixtures, I guess. And it'll be a single elimination, at least in the first couple of rounds, depending on how many teams we have sign up. But as we go through the tournament, maybe in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the final, we may do a best of 3. But as far as if we have, 32 teams or something, we'll probably do single elimination for the first couple of rounds, just for time. So just looking through the chat questions real fast. Sorry if I missed a question of yours. There's a lot of stuff going on. Keilli, you asked in the chat, how can people sign up for it? We haven't set up a registration site or anything yet, so stay tuned for that. We'll let you know as soon as we figure
And do you
it out.
guys plan to like maybe announce that sign-up process on Dark Age of Camelot so
Yeah.
other players can see it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'm sure B will have it posted on the official DAoC site, and the link to whatever, however we plan to sign up will be there. So
Hey, Carol, is there any way we could also probably get a pop-up message for that too? Once I figure out the sign-up process?
Mesosaurus, yes, afternoon where? You live in Greenland. It'll be afternoon for US time, evening for Europeans. So I don't know the exact time zone in Greenland, so probably be closer to the evening for you, I'd imagine. Not entirely sure.
Greenland, huh?
Yeah, Greenland. It's cool.
I think she's a little further east than that.
Hakor asks, are we gonna have multiple fights going at one time? Ideally, just for time. If there's a lot of groups, we may have. We're gonna. I ideally would like to have kind of 3 or 4 fight arenas, different zones set up to have these fights in. We'll have to get with Broadsword just to kind of see exactly what we can do. But I think something that would be really awesome would be to say have fights in Stygia, like the old Mordred. Fights, like Saxona earlier. I don't know if you guys heard.
Oh, wow.
But mentioned a Mordred video where they had fights in Stygia. Things like that I think would be great. Like I mentioned earlier, I really like the 2A zone. Maybe clearing out some mobs for the event, and just setting up kind of an arena.
Yeah, ML10
there.
is a good place.
Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of great places that we could set it up outside of just normal enough.
You could put them in the Volcanus dungeon and have them all fight around the that crazy Medusa guy.
Yeah.
Like Katoy, I think his name is.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's the one, Katori. That's the one I was thinking of earlier. That's where everyone wanted her ring, and she was always bugged out.
Yeah, Hen, who's French Skull, that's how I pronounce it, in our chat, we had an AV8 draft probably about a month ago, and he streamed a bunch of the fights and just kind of commentated on them. I don't know if you guys have watched any pro gaming like StarCraft or League of Legends, anything like that. They have these guys casting or commentating on the game, and he was doing the same for DAoC, and it was really entertaining. It'd be interesting to have someone, just on their own streaming the game, streaming the fights on their own Twitch channel, or maybe on the official channel, depending on how we set that up. Commentating on interesting fights would be cool.
The great thing for that would be if we could have it streaming from a dev account or a Carol's account, because then you could get like the top-down views and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
maybe she can give us some sort of a flying hack that we can use just on Pendragon.
Yeah. Also, as far as to eliminate any people adding on the fight, my plan, and I don't know if this is possible, is have Carol or one of the developers the day of the tournament kind of port each group into the designated, I guess, arena, and that'll be the only people allowed in there. Outside of maybe we can kind of do like a press pass for whoever wants to stream it, and make them level 1 and stealth or something, so they can't really interfere with the fight, and so they can still stream the fight and maybe commentate on it. Because we'd like it to just be 5v5, no ads, anything like that. Nazo asks, so line of sight places will be allowed or will all be open field? Ideally, it'd be mostly open field with maybe small LOS obstacles, nothing crazy like a maze or anything, or something that you can literally hide behind, but maybe some small hills or something could be okay. I guess we could talk about that a little more and see what you guys think as far as if we should allow LOS to play a big part in the fights. I'm personally not a big fan of that, but you guys may be different. Hint, he asked about what about pets for minstrels and minstrelists in the arenas. That's another thing I'm gonna have to check with Broadsword to see if it's possible, but I'd like when each group gets ported in different spots, I guess, in the arena, to have sort of a pet camp available with decent pets, just available at the spawn point, I guess, so they can choose which pet they want in charm. Like I said, have to talk with Broadsword about that, see if that's realistic. Carol said they're gonna make a 5-man dev team in one-shot groups.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, sounds about right. Also, rewards for the tournament. Right now we have no rewards set, but we're trying to brainstorm some good rewards. Obviously there's time cards and things like that, but that gets a little boring, I think. I'd love to see a title on across your accounts, a 5v5 event winner or something like that. Make it something sound intimidating or cool. Maybe access to, I don't know, a special item or something for tournament winners would be interesting. A new mount or something, I'm not sure what's exactly possible. Carol kind of just told us to, think of whatever we could that would be cool, and we can ask for it. And worst thing that can happen is they say no. Do you guys have any ideas like for cool rewards that you'd like to see for people that win the 5v5 event?
How about a glacial giant mount?
Glacier. I'd like that. Have some reins on his back and just trample people.
Well, he could be smaller, so he'll fit under bridges and stuff, but let's make him pretty big.
I think that'd be awesome. Maybe like a mini dragon mount, kind of like flap around.
A mini dragon mount would be great.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would really like that.
I'd like to see the hip dragon for sure. I really like that one.
Yeah. That would definitely be awesome. I'd like to see maybe a custom weapon from each member of the group. They kind of decide what kind of weapon they want. Maybe they can alter the speed of a weapon. Maybe make a 6.2 speed two-hander with some decent procs. Nothing insanely overpowered, but I mean they want a 5v5 event and there's only one weapon, so wouldn't break the game entirely. But something like that could be interesting to promote people to join the event and reward people for winning a 5v5 event. Because imagine this can be a pretty difficult tournament to win for any group. Yeah, I definitely regardless of what the other rewards are, I'd like to see the title, just because I think that's really cool. I'd also like to see maybe this 5v5 event happen annually. Kind of like, the seasonal quests, have a seasonal every May or so. Have a big old tournament
Yeah,
on
that'd be
Pendragon.
cool. Yeah, that would definitely be cool to see it every year.
Yeah.
People could, build themselves up, have a little more time to do their paper DAoC.
Right. And see what happened, see what worked last year, what changes can be made, which type one, Because right now, it being the first time, there's going to be a lot of question marks on setups, I think. What's good, what
Maybe you
works.
could just have a pet. Maybe you could just have like a wandering pet with you that is the small race of the realm, like clapping coconuts together and holding like some huge pack on its back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good reward.
I'd love to see those following people around.
Yeah. As far as the frequency of the tournament, you could also do it, semi-annually. If you do it too often, it may lose its, its novelty and its thunder and stuff. But I think maybe 3 to 2 times a year could be okay. Or just, like a lot of the quests and data, just annually, like the Springtime Folly, the Midwinter stuff, Halloween stuff, only once a year. Also depends on how much time it takes to organize and how difficult it is and the turnout. What's in chat think about what type of setup may be the best? Someone asked me earlier what I think the best is, and personally I think something with I don't know, a full blitz tank setup could be interesting. I think, especially if there's a lot of hybrids or caster oriented setups, something that just pushes over people. Caster setup could be decent as well, like a 3 caster 2 support setup would be interesting. I think I've heard a lot of 2 caster 1 tank 2 support setups that sound interesting as well. The good thing is there's so many options that'll work, I think.
With a setup like this, I think an interesting setup might be some sort of a tank train too. Like Valkyrie, something like a healer or whatever, and then just like some good tanks to push on. It might be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think a great setup would probably be with Midgard tanks and Hibernia support. Would be a pretty strong setup. Maybe toss in a Thurgis.
Yeah, that could be really good. I don't even know if you need a third just on support like that.
Yeah, you might not, but yeah, you can try all sorts of different things.
A cool setup maybe would be to do something like Minstrel, BD, Animist, Sork, and I got all that, and Druid, yeah, that's 5. And each class has their own pet at that point, and they nuke off the body debuff from the BD, the insta body debuff, the Animist nukes off of it, and the Sork does as well. And then you can just kind of push things down with pets, because you have literally 5 pets with that.
Yeah, if every class has a pet, do you need a third?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. You're limited on heals at that point, just the Druid, I believe, but...
But you could also try throwing Mentalist in there to get some heals.
Yeah, that's true. You could do a split spec Minimalist, or even just a full light Minimalist with a big pet, with mini backup heals. Or a green pet with a Minimalism spec.
If you're only really using the pet to interrupt stuff, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
One thing someone mentioned was Spirit Train on the postcount.net forums, where they had a Spirit Master Spirit debuffing with a Air Thurgist and a Reaver.
Yeah, I like that setup. With that, you get the Reaver that can peel really well with Slam and Pen, and also really put out some DPS with the Thurg, with the Spirit damage. Just run a Spirit Leggy or something. Quite like that setup. Well, the only issue is a reaver is a potential CC liability with no stoicism, but it just depends on how you can play it. I think that'd be an interesting setup. I think it'd do pretty well.
Yeah, I think we can go on talking about different setups
Oh,
like this
yeah,
for hours. It
definitely.
sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been
But
paper DAoCing a lot this week. It's been interesting.
well, I need to get going, guys. It's been fun, and good to see you. Then hopefully I'll be back next week.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah.
All right.
That sounds good.
Catch you later, Nerf.
Later, guys.
I have a question. Are we going to allow buff bots, or are we just going to do realm buffs unless you have a spec buffer? I kind of the idea was to allow buff bots, but still not fully decided on that. A good option may be just to have it limited to the NPC buffs, and then whatever your group can throw out if you have a druid with normal spec buffs. Yeah, not entirely sure yet on that. What do you guys think about allowing bots?
I would say, yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah. What about things like supremacy pots? Because that's kind of I don't know, it's pretty easy. You get sheared, you pop a supremacy pot, you get sheared again, continuously pumping supremacy pots, cap buffs. I kind of would like no supremacy pots personally, and just have groups if they really want to run charges or whatever their spec buffer. They have a spec buffer in group.
What about heroism pots?
Yeah, the thing is, I'd like heroism pots because the value of them so low compared to supremacy pots that it's not as, I won't say overpowered, but it's not as good, I guess. And also, supremacy pots are a little more rare than heroism pots. Obviously, heroism pots are pretty easy, just craftable potions. And obviously, we'll allow all like end pots, health pots, things like that. If you have in the chat have any opinion on whether supremacy pots should or shouldn't be allowed, let me know. Check out the newsletter. I don't think I missed anything on it, other than things we talked about last time, like the UI updates. Obviously, Bob's UI will become, I guess, an altered version of Bob's UI will soon hopefully become the standard UI, which will be nice because over the years the standard UI has been lacking quite a bit. Like I'm using a custom UI and I have been for probably 8-9 years. I guess before we take off, is there anything you guys would like to mention or point out? Anything? Labyrinth overhaul rumors. I haven't heard anything, but
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that either.
yeah.
Me either.
As far as PvE content goes, the only thing that I know about that they're working on is the quests that were recently released in, I think it was 1.117 or 116, the quest we talked about earlier in this podcast, where there's these new quests that have to deal with the Siabra and the Jotun, and I think it was, I don't remember which one the other one was, like Ghost or something. I think that's the only PvE content they're working on right now, as far as I know.
Yeah. Middle-aged gaming, you mentioned running anything over 3x7. I assume you mean because of the LD issues and whatnot that some people face. I've been running like 5 by whatever the capped, 5 by 15 for the last, ever since they put them out, and personally I haven't had any LD issues. I know some people do. But I don't know if it's just due to what internet you use or anything like that. I'm not entirely sure what causes that. But some people don't have issues with that. Yeah, I guess before we go, anything else you'd like to bring up? Anyone in chat, anyone in vent or whatnot?
Did you see the question they just asked about lag and Verizon customers in the Northeast?
Oh yeah,
I think that's been an ongoing issue for a while.
Right, I have no clue about anything like that. It's way beyond my knowledge. That'd probably be something more that Broadsword would have to answer themselves.
Well, Carol stepped in. She said John posted it on post count.
Okay, good. Can we talk about rank 5? Bard needs a new one. Well, you see, I kind of disagree there. I think the Bard rank 5 is outrageously good right now. The fact that people can't see what you're casting and whatnot is a huge advantage. And also, there's a defensive snare that procs. It's a 20% proc rate, and it's a 40% snare. It's a defensive proc. I think that's very good when you have tanks on you. Just snares the tanks off.
I agree.
I think the Bard rank 5 is actually quite nice.
I agree. I really like the Bard rank 5. It's not really great for me in PvE, but when I am RVRing, it's really great.
Definitely. I don't like to use it often just because I like to see myself cast. But it definitely does help when I do pop it.
Hey everyone, just to let you know, Carol just posted a link to the FiOS Verizon issues in the Northeast.
Yeah, the hero rank 5, that's the just bonus to evade. And I believe it gives a penalty afterwards, if I'm not mistaken. It's not great, but
Yeah,
it's
it's definitely not ideal.
Yeah, I agree there. Yeah, a different hero rank 5 could be interesting to see. I don't really know what else you would change it to, but I guess there's a lot of things that would be balanced. Just think of them. Just remove
There's
the
Chimera.
No dig. I have no clue on the timeline of the addition of new knights. All I know is they probably received about 1 billion knight applications in the last week, so I'd give them some time to sort through all the applications and then figure out who they'd like to bring on board.
Hey Obi, it seems like a couple of people asked a pretty hot topic about multi-boxing. Did that get addressed or?
Well, that's just kind of, I guess, in the TOS. I don't really know what to say about it because I believe in the TOS it says it's not allowed. Yeah, it's more of I guess a thing for Broadsword to themselves address. Personally, I think the TOS is a bit outdated. A new up-to-date TOS would be interesting to see, but.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the way these multi-boxers conduct themselves. Like very often, they're, they might be damaging to the people around them, and other people they might be a boon to the community around them. So it really depends on what the multi-boxer is doing, and I think that's where the point of contention is for a lot of people. On the one hand, they help the server in some ways, and on the other hand, there are a lot of multi-boxers that cause a lot of grief for some people.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely agree.
And I was just going to add one thing, Obi. I agree with you. I think, and that's something that I know it's been brought up a couple times from both internal and also in post count, is it would just be really nice if we could get an updated terms of service, and that it would call out, so since the game has been out a while and technology has been introduced, be really helpful.
Right. No, I agree there, definitely. It's like stuff with macroable buttons and whatnot. Kind of a commonplace in today's gaming world, and whether they're allowed in DAoC or not is a question. Or whether they should be, I guess. As far as the amount of knights we're looking for, I'm not sure if there's a set exact number for knights or internal board members, but all I do know is that we are looking for more of us. So yeah, it's probably about time for me to go. My girlfriend's spam texting me from downstairs, wanting to know when we're gonna go get dinner. So I will probably need to leave. So yeah, just before we go, remember that the infernal merchants and the traveling merchants are leaving tomorrow. So spend all your money tonight, in the early hours of tomorrow, before they go away and you miss them. It's been a while since they were added this time. I don't know the exact frequency they will, or I guess when they will be back. So go ahead and buy what you can.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for updates on the 5v5 tournament, on the Herald, post count, Twitter, Facebook, things like that. I'm sure Beeb will, or Carol will gladly post stuff for us. I'm hoping to have the, oh yeah, time code. Wow, how did I forget that? Okay, let me go ahead and go to a random
Bingo.
picking site, and I will figure out who gets this time code. Let's see. Oops. Do a monitor capture, I think. Change the way my stream's set up. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to import the list of people in the chat to this website. Let me take out random headings and stuff. Okay. And so when I hit randomize, it's going to randomize the list I entered into just another random list. And whoever is on top will get the time code. So here we go. Okay. So Nerf actually won the time code on this. So congratulations, Nerf. 187. He's actually a knight. He's not here anymore, but his name was still in. Okay, he's not even here, so unless he says something in chat, let's continue watching. I'm going to re-randomize because, yeah, let's do it again. All right, when I hit again, enter DAoC.
Yeah, Carol wants to do it again too.
So enter DAoC. Congratulations on the time code. I'm sure Carol will get with you somehow an IRC or post count or Twitch chat, anything like that. Dave wants to do it again. Congrats, Enter. But yeah, keep an eye out for updates on the tournament, the patch, everything like that. Watch out for the merchants going away tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, I believe. So thank you guys for joining
one thing
us.
I wanted to
Go ahead.
mention, one more thing before we go. If you don't know about it
Hey,
already, the Knight program is looking for more, and we're also looking for more internal forum members, so definitely check out the newsletter, and you'll find the link to apply to either of those programs. Okay, go ahead, Garrett.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely, if you would like to be a Knight internal, do that. Yeah, other than that, thanks Ian, aka Saxona, and Keilli, and Nerf earlier, who already signed off, for joining me. I'm Obelisk, if you didn't know. It's been great. I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining.